Advocacy campaign. As parents, it is our right and obligation to get involved in our child's education. This is our primary advocacy, why we engage constructively with our fellow parents and other stakeholders in the education sector. In the previous videos, you have learned some of the tools for social accountability, such as Public Expenditure Tracking Survey, PETS, Citizen Report Card, CRC, and Multi-Stakeholder Social Audit, MSSA. In all these tools, one helpful step for a successful engagement involves disseminating or sharing your findings to get others to support your advocacy. This is called Advocacy Campaign, where you publicly promote your advocacy to a wide audience through But how do you properly conduct an advocacy campaign? Let's look back at the 4 essential qualities of social accountability. First, it must promote trust and partnership. It is most important that you know your advocacy by heart and that you are clear with your stand. Ask yourself and fellow parents, what do we want? What is our message? What do we want to say? It is also important that you know whom you are going to talk to, so you could craft your message accordingly. Ask, will your listeners be comfortable in face-to-face discussions? Or would they prefer social media? Do they often watch television, or do they read newspapers more? What language or dialect do they use? What are their interests? Second, it must be based on evidence and sufficient information. A good advocacy campaign must have a clear message and must be backed by evidence. Clarity and believability of your message would help convince others to take on your advocacy. Ask yourself or your fellow parents, what information do we need to clarify our message? What information do we need to prove our point? Third, it must be result-oriented or solution-oriented. Your advocacy campaign must be organized and should have clear goals. In setting goals and outcomes, it is always helpful to keep in mind that they have to be SMART. Specific, measurable and monitorable, achievable, results-oriented, and time-bound. Ask yourself and fellow parents, what specific changes do we want to achieve? What do we need to do to achieve those changes? When do we want these changes to happen? How do we monitor and measure the success or failure of our advocacy campaign? Fourth, it must be continuous and looks at long-term results. You would need to constantly check your advocacy plans. Ask, are we achieving the outcomes that we are expecting? What did we do that resulted in positive outcomes? What were the challenges and failures? Challenges in conducting an advocacy campaign. Warnings and precautions. Similar to the other tools for constructive engagement, planning is a crucial part of an advocacy campaign. Evidence and sufficient information are also of great value for your campaign. Carefully choose the speaker or spokesperson for your campaign, one who is credible, influential, and most importantly, one who practices social accountability.